You enter a room, you see everyone, and now all the eyes are on you. There's just one question in your mind. What are they thinking about me? And it's a fair question. We all question how people see us because we question ourselves as well. 99% of people walk into every room being blind, not because they cannot see, but because they are trying to be seen. 1% of the people enter the room and they're more concerned with seeing than how they're being seen as. You see, thoughts like, do they like me? Do I look confident? What should I say? Am I being awkward? Do I matter here? They make you miss everything. They make you miss who has the power, who is uncomfortable, who's pretending, who's seeking approval, who's seeking your approval. And this is why rooms move way before anyone even understands what happened, all right? And people are not necessarily lacking social skills. You're not lacking the social skills. You just need to learn something that is not a 10-second trick. You just need awareness, okay? Social skills are not about knowing what to say or fake, but knowing what is happening before you say anything. And no one teaches this until now, obviously. Forget about those scripts. Forget about pickup lines, openers, fake smiles, mirroring the person in front of you like an autistic fuck. Don't do that. More than anything, just because these are fake behaviors, okay? And also because all of them require you to look inward. And if you look inward, you're not looking outward, where all the information you need is. So hopefully, after this video, you will be able to see when people glance at you, when there's tensions between other people, when people are doing some posturing for no reason. You can see who gets interrupted. You can see who's being respected. You can see who's making the decisions and what people actually think about you. Not being able to see this stuff implies something. And it's always that you are not in the conversation. You are inside the conversation being controlled by it. I'm Lucas Guy. I coached hundreds of entrepreneurs. I analyzed and participated in thousands of meetings with 8- and 9-figure individuals where high-stake decisions were made. And by having access to these rooms that people will almost never have, I was able to study how people think, how they break, how they posture, how they negotiate, how they react, how they talk, especially under pressure. And I learned one very powerful thing is that you can read people like a book. And that's exactly what this video is about. Not, I'm going to teach you some body language tricks. I'm going to, show you how to fake confidence. I'm going to show you how to fake charisma. This is not about learning how to do that shit. This is about learning how to see, okay? Because the moment you stop performing for the room, you can actually finally start reading it. And once you can read it, you can adapt. And once you can adapt, you can stop being moved by people who understand the game better than you do. So before I show you how awareness actually works, we need to kill the fake version of social skills because most social advice is just performance, okay? So let's talk about the most typical one according to me. It's basically smiling more. Like an idiot, all the time smiling. It's like, no. You're weird, okay? You can smile and it's a powerful tool, but you have to use it in a way that makes sense with the situation. Not just because you're ready, it's nice. Or saying that you always need to ask better questions. No, that's absolutely wrong. This is not interrogation. I would even say it's way better to listen, okay? Or using their names like 145 times. Well, I'm moving my camera. Give me a second. There you go. Or, using their name like 50 times like an idiot because, you read somewhere that repeating John is great. It's like, no, it's just going to be awkward, okay? Or that you have to mirror their body language. So if I'm speaking to you like this, you're supposed to be speaking to me like this as well. That's just weird, okay? Forcing yourself to be extroverted or forcing yourself to make eye contact or forcing yourself to be funny. This is not how it works, okay? This is not how it works. You will never get anything by just faking shit. And like I said, the biggest part is because you're looking inward. You're not even looking outward. You're supposed to be always looking at the other people, all right? All this shit that I just said, all this fake advice is what people call social skills. And these points are tremendously helpful, by the way. I'm not saying that smiling or using their name is not useful. I'm just saying that if you think for a second, all the things that I just named that were like 7, if you had to do them all at once in the next meeting, how in the fuck could you do that? Remembering all that all the time, okay? It's just too much decoration to maintain. And the more you try to remember it, the less present you become in the conversation, which defies the whole point. And that's the trap. Social advice makes you self-conscious, then tells you self-consciousness is confidence, and now you're fucked. This is how it works. Hey, put your fucking phone down. Focus. If you cannot even watch one video with full concentration, how do you expect to be successful in life? Focus. Now, since I have you here, you could work one-on-one with me. I don't have a mentorship, I have a brotherhood. I have people who are working almost 700 hours in a row. I have people who had no knowledge in sales and now are making more than 5 figures in just a few months. I will not teach you stupid linguistics like say the stupid word track. I will not teach you useless tonalities that make you look like a clown. I will not teach you to be a pushover in sales who tries to force stuff. Quite the opposite. I'm going to teach you psychology, the real psychology, so that you can know exactly what to do to make people do whatever the fuck you want. You don't get just group coaching calls. You get one-on-ones with me where you can become a beast, where I can help you with anything you need. I can be your mentor. More than 300 hours of fucking content so that you know exactly what to do in every area. Join the brotherhood. Join the hunters and become the best version of yourself. Get the life you always fucking wanted, or do nothing and let my hunters take everything from you. If you want to join, you can see the link down below. That being said, let's continue with the video. If you're thinking how to look, you don't see how they look. If you're trying to be liked, you don't see who tries to be liked. If you're trying to sound confident, you're not noticing the ones that want to be seen as such and who are comfortable with silence. You're not seeing who is comfortable with silence. So stop auditioning and start observing. Besides, dude, people can't see when you're only trying to be perceived as someone you're not. You know, this kills trust. This kills connections, relationships, money, everything, okay? If you're watching this, I know you're not like the rest. I know being average is an insult to you, so I'll repeat it. The first rule is to stop trying to be seen and start seeing. A prey is concerned with how it looks. A hunter is concerned at looking at the prey. Don't be the prey. Just don't, okay? Second rule, there is always a hidden hierarchy. Every room has one. There's always someone controlling the emotional temperature. There is always someone seeking attention. There is always someone pretending to be relaxed. There is always someone that people look when they're trying to decide. It's like, okay? There is always someone who's talking too much because they control too little. There's always someone who is quiet because they don't need to prove anything. And I can just keep going all day with the fucking examples. Everyone misses this. You won't. So take a second, okay, and observe and see who agrees all the time, who is laughing like a bimbo, who stays quiet and clenches his fist in a meeting. The room doesn't talk, it yells. And if you just stop for a second and you start to listen to it, you completely focus, you will be able to listen and you will be able to read everything. All right? So you got 2 rules there. Rule number 3, everyone lies. That includes your own brain. So let's unpack that for a second. Your own brain lies to you because he is afraid of being judged. Okay? So, for example, you think John dislikes you. Yeah? When he actually considers you a friend. How many times does that happen to you? Or you think silence means rejection. You think a smile means I'm closing this deal. You think, I guess, means I like you. Let's go on a date. No, She's guessing. You think disagreement means disrespect. And again, I can give more and more examples, but what you're doing with that is not observation. It's just insecurity taking the wheel. On the other hand, 90% of people will conceal their intentions, but they cannot conceal some reactions. The way they speak, the way their body behaves, even their tonality are crucial factors that indicates the truth. I won't make a full body detection masterclass right now, at least on this video, but I'll give you this. I want you to understand their baseline. How do they normally talk? How fast? How loud? Are they always with their arms crossed, you know? Are they always like this through the whole time? As you see me, for example, doing both hands, or sometimes just one hand like this is the normal way that I speak. But if out of nowhere I do the whole video like this, something happened, okay? When you see people that are constantly smiling and they stop smiling, what happened, okay? You need to be a computer that detects changes. And once you find one, jackpot, eureka. Pay attention, ask questions on it, uncover the truth, okay? So I gave you the example with myself, but let's make up a new one. Let's say, I don't know, you're talking with your best friend from high school, William. And William, he's very open with his arms, like I am being right now, you know, speaking like this, blah, blah, blah. And basically, you know, let's make it even more exaggerated. He's like a 17-year-old brat, you know, that sits on the chair like this, you know, like this, basically that arrogant posture, okay? And then you ask William, hey, how's your wife? And William immediately crosses his arms and even puts both of his hands covering his crotch. Okay. And he says, no, it's all good with Maria. It's like, we're great. You got work to do. He's obviously lying. Something is in there, okay? So, is it making more sense now? You don't memorize and analyze how fast they're breathing every 10 seconds like an autistic fuck. No need to be looking at their blink rate or what they're doing. It's like, relax. You just need to be looking for changes, all right? So once you understand this rule, this gives you a ridiculous advantage. Ridiculous. The room is not a picture. The room is a video. And every time something is off, your attention must be there. So now, when you walk into a room, you don't ask yourself, how do I look? You ask yourself, why is Jimmy looking at Karen every 15 seconds? Once you see this structure, well, the room just stops being and feeling random. People become signals. Tension becomes information. Silence becomes evidence. At the end of the day, you never lacked social skills. You just lacked awareness. You lacked these 3 rules. You were never bad with people. You were just staring at yourself while the room was giving you all the fucking answers. So if you're here and you're listening to me, you're that 1% that are willing to see what most people miss, okay? Understanding this theory is step number 1. I'm pretty sure that by now you realize that you have work to do and you have a lot to implement. But as always, just learning theory, it might not be enough because when you're in rooms, you might forget about this or you might do it halfway. So go and test it, go try it. But if you feel like this is not going as you expected and you want to become good at it, you can just DM me. My socials are below and you can work one-on-one with me. If things are going well and you don't need to, fucking great. All right. The choice to improve is yours. Never forget that. Most people react and you will do the opposite. You're going to be proactive. You're not going to be looking inward. You're going to be looking outward. So enjoy and change every room that you're in. I'll see you in the next video. Happy hunting.